Her abductor's name is... Oh God, I just forgot it. I'm sorry. It should be on the front cover though. I hope for equality. I don't expect it. I do expect people to keep their word when they say so. I guess, well, she's having to deal with some gang stalking, which I got plenty of that. Plenty of evidence of that, too, going on towards me. There's people who tell me these things and expect me to believe it. And then there's people who show me. There's a woman named Rebecca Gross Nickel-Foley, and she was abducted and a victim of gang stalking. Matter of fact, some of her stalkers were the same as mine. There's a group of Boulder locals, is what they're called, but they're not Boulder locals, and they don't help out the victims. They're self-serving people. It's definitely Larkin. I was trying to tell her off this morning. Tell her to go away. Her having a missing daughter makes it so that, well, some of the personal stuff about her that I was going to post up so that y'all were well aware of it, it is not going to do her any good. It's not going to do her daughter any good. So we can wait on that. Between finding her daughter and showing the equality in the situation, or the lack thereof, can we set that aside and do the right thing for now? Just like when Natalie Bollinger disappeared. Could we set aside our squabbles and differences and find Natalie Bollinger? Just like the situation with Miss Singer's son, Ryan. Can we knock off the bullshit and just make sure that Ryan is safe? Just like when Mandy Singer was beaten up by Joseph there in Arizona. Yeah, we can argue about the petty shit later on. For right now, let's get you the fuck out of Arizona. Let's get you to where you need to go. Let's get you the gear that you need to survive in Colorado, because Arizona, it's not fucking needed. And then we can sort out how badly you fucked up later. If we ever get around to it. I don't care about all y'all's personal bullshit. I do care about your kids. I don't care about your excuses for not coming forward. I do care about your kids. You want to tell me that you didn't come forward because you don't have the time? In 6 years, you can make the time. In 6 fucking years, you can make the goddamn time to keep your word. In 6 goddamn years, you can fess up to the fact that something fucking happened. Now, the real question here is, why didn't you do something when it made a difference? When Brandon Ratner's brother, Sean Ratner, disappeared, it didn't take me a day to post something up. It didn't even take me 10 minutes to post up about his missing brother. When Natalie Bollinger disappeared, it didn't take me 10 minutes to make a post about her missing. When Shauna Sinclair's daughter went missing, it didn't take me 10 minutes to make a post about that. Alicia Bollinger disappeared not once but 3 different times since her sister died, and all 3 times I helped to find her. All 3 times. When I love somebody, I actually love them. Regardless of the arguments, regardless of the bullshit, regardless of opinions, I actually love those people. I actually loved Natalie Bollinger. Unlike her dad, unlike her mom, unlike her uncle Troy and her aunt Jennifer Farina. Alicia Bollinger would consider herself and count herself lucky to have a friend like me. With Stephanie Larkin, you know what? We can get her being angry at me about me posting later on. Right now, let's find her kid. Let's get her kid safe. Let's get these people whatever help they need in order to have those kids safe. Mandy Singer has been going to the places that she's supposed to go to. They're supposed to have classes for people who are parents that know that they don't know the first goddamn thing about parenting and need help with it. Mandy Singer has tried to do that repeatedly, and even though they have those services, it's not for her and it's not for her daughter. Why the hell not? It's because there's a bias held against her because she used to be homeless now. And she might have ended up homeless for trying to help me. Like, her frustrations are very real. Her fears are very real. And although I have a lot of not nice things to say about Stephanie, that's issues with me and Stephanie. Her daughter shouldn't have to pay for that. Stephanie shouldn't have to lose her daughter for that. This lady who stole her daughter, that's not okay. That is never okay. Just like it wasn't okay when they did that to Christopher Weaver. When people say, hey, I can't do nothing. My grandma died. My aunt died. My mom died. Somebody fucking died. My best friend was killed. Had her brains blown out. I was in the process of trying to help find 2 other missing people when I found out that Natalie was missing. And even after people wanted to accuse me of killing her and try to harm me profusely and greatly for it, I still did the right thing. I offered her every penny that I had to try to get her safe. But you don't want to see that, you don't want to hear that, you don't want to read that, and you sure as hell ain't going to speak up about it. Well, whether you speak up or not, I'm going to. With Andrew Witcher molesting his own daughter, and that young woman telling her mother, Amy Witcher, and Amy Witcher did what about it? My mom helped him get away, just like my mom helped Michael Allen Albert get away with molesting his own daughter. At least I spoke up. I understand your fears. I've got fears of my own, but it doesn't stop me from doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do. If you're going to judge me and pass judgment on me, I can judge you and pass judgment on you back. But you know what? I'd rather help find your kids. Then we can have our piddly squabbles. The mean stuff that was typed at me, well, I type mean stuff back. People tend to forget about the mean shit that they typed, or the reason why, or the reason that I was aggravated to begin with. Derek Parrish couldn't tell the truth. Wanted to throw a tantrum after his mom died. Well, after his mom died. And I'm supposed to understand that he can't function as a human being because somebody died. Then again, he's one of the people that I went to for help before Natalie was killed. I actually went to his girlfriend, Joanna Taylor Smith. What that resulted in was him and Joanna arguing over something that was unrelated to me, and they wanted to ask my opinion, and my words didn't come out right. I didn't want to fucking be there. I was there for help, not to listen to some idiotic, moronic human being arguing with Derek Parrish. Derek Parrish is a pampered little bitch. You don't argue with pampered little bitches. They don't fucking care. It's like asking a tyrant to stop being a tyrant. They don't understand. Even in an English-speaking language, tyrants don't understand English. They understand gunfire. That's what they understand, and that is all they understand, gunfire. They're fine with it as long as it's not happening to them. They don't want you to have armed guards. They don't want you to be able to protect your family from the police abducting your children, but these son of a bitches sure as hell have people with full auto machine guns protecting them. Meanwhile, gun violence among the poor is quite prevalent. My question is, why are you murdering your own people? If the police are tyrants against black folks, don't go killing other black folks. That makes no fucking sense whatsoever. That'd be like saying, oh, Japan just bombed Pearl Harbor. Maybe I should run around and shoot Americans. That's not a very smart way of thinking. That's not useful to fucking anybody. That's shooting yourself in the foot and all of the other victims in the foot. No, it's worse than that. It's more like shooting yourself in the fucking head. It's not too bright. The way people were dismissive of me, not understanding that, yes, I'm being abused. In order to stop it, when the abuse happens, we need to do something then and there. Not wait for 6 years for you to go out of your way to be a piece of shit to me over something that you weren't there for. You did something shitty to me, and then you want to deflect by trying to push other shit on me. Like, oh, you stalked that girl like fucking hell I did. I've been trying to get you to look at that. You sent me a friend request. You wanted to be my friend. You actually cared. Blah, blah, blah. No, the fuck you didn't. Now, is that going to stop me from helping Stephanie to get her daughter? No. If I break the law, it's out of fucking necessity. If I call you out, it's out of necessity. It just so happens if your kid is missing, that is obviously more important than me. If your daughter isn't missing, but you want to try to play me for a fool and say, oh, my daughter's missing, so pity me, that's the reason I didn't keep my word. Well, there's some people who wanted to do that. Don't do that. Now, I bothered to go look at Stephanie Larkin's profile before posting it up. I wanted to make sure she wasn't bullshitting me. And that's how I found the picture. Me and her can have our petty squabbles after her daughter's found. She can block me and hate me all she wants. She could even do that now. I'm fine with it. I'm not fucking happy with the situation. I'm not happy with children being fucking abducted. I'm not happy with the fact that I don't have a voice and people don't understand what speaking up means. What I am doing right now is speaking up. Her daughter is missing, so I'm speaking up. When Brandon Ratner's brother, Sean Ratner, went missing, I spoke up. When Natalie Bollinger went missing, I spoke up. When Alicia went missing, I spoke up. And I'll keep speaking up. Some of these people I've been extremely rude to, extremely mean to. One lady, I told her she needed to get the fuck out of my life. Stop pretending to be my friend. She's one of them web sleuths that sent me a friend request after Natalie died and then ignored me for years. So when I was going through and getting rid of people like I do from time to time, she sent me this big old mean thing about what a horrible person I am because she's lost 2 of her daughters. I knew she lost one of them. I didn't know about the other one. However, she blocked me before I could say anything, and really, at that point, she hadn't been a friend, and as much as I feel bad for her daughters both dying, I'm not going to take my words back. I'm not going to pretend that I'm some horrible person for telling the truth. And yeah, your daughter died. I didn't know your daughter died. You were the one who sent me a friend request saying that you were going to help me. And then you ignored me for 6 years. So, yeah, when I got back a hold of you to let you know you needed to go away, I'd already tried to get a hold of you repeatedly. Because you said, well, things you obviously didn't mean. A lot of people did that. I called out no less than 5 people this morning and asked them to go away. I do that often. You're not a friend. You're not being a friend. You need to go away. You're not going to help me. You're going to tell me about yourself and your own problems. And even after we've figured that shit out, you're still going to go back to being the same useless POS that you were before. And that's with a whole bunch of people. This isn't a Stephanie Larkin thing. This is truly how homeless and disabled males are treated, especially when we're autistic. And then, of course, if you're the parent of an autistic child, and I got a feeling, when you're the parent of an autistic child, you have to be worried at all points in time that your child will be abducted by the state, abused, and you'll never see your kid again. They'll put your kid into an institution and drug them up so they don't know what the fuck is going on even. We've got a lot of autistic kids who had a real chance of being the next Nikola Tesla. Had a real chance in their lives of becoming the next Leonardo da Vinci. But you guys listen to Tesla. You listen to da Vinci. They lived in a different time where you could actually get somewhere based on your initiative, based on your ideas, based on your ability to work hard. Today, if you got a good idea, you have to give it up to DuPont or Ford or Boeing. You just have to give it up. They'll steal it anyway. You don't have the money to fight them. These are corporations, major corporations who are tied in with the defense contracts. They get a lot of money. You don't have the money to fight that. You don't have the government backing to fight that. You don't have the finances or the bank accounts to fight that. The only way to fight that is to have friends who will speak up loud and proud when something happens and say, hey, this is wrong, and keep on it. Christine Buhit, she was down to help until she got housing, and then she destroyed a bunch of evidence and fucking threw a tantrum at me and treated me like shit. Of course, I knew what that meant. She's got housing. It means that she's going to have a whole bunch of heroin addicts and meth addicts that are going to be coming over to her house because they want a safe place to do their drugs and not have to be paranoid the whole time. I mean, imagine being a drug addict stuck out in public. You got to go try to shoot up in a bush and then hope that nobody calls the cops on you because you're obviously messed up and paranoid. It's a lot easier not to be paranoid in somebody's house. You got 4 walls and a roof, a door that locks, and you're aware that the walls aren't made of glass, so people can't see in. I knew that Christine Buhit was going to end up dead. I knew she was going to likely overdose. Those people got drugs. They want a place to do it that's safe. They know that if they go to Christine's and they gave her a few drugs of her own, she'll be fine with it. She'll let them stay on the floor for a night. But then she's not regulated like she was before. She's not afraid to go shooting up. She can shoot up whenever she wants now. That's how Danny ended up dead, right out of rehab. That's how Natalie ended up getting herself killed too. Just couldn't stay off the fucking drugs. I gotta end this video because I gotta pee. Good to be rid of you. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper and no victim left behind. Especially not children. Even if you have a problem with one of the parents, that children is more important than you are. And that's the way you should always look at it. What if it's your kid?